Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Varsity Tutors StarCourse series, where we've got a super special superhero class today. We are joined by the very amazing Incredibrain, resident science superhero at the Omaha Children's Museum, who's going to show us how we can achieve some pretty stupendous superhuman superpowers using science. Now, we're going to have the opportunity to participate along with a little bit of today's science, so you should have received an email. If not, we'll follow up and you're welcome to follow along as we go. But if you'd like to participate in today's science experiment, you'll want to make sure that you have paper of different colors handy, scissors, a film canister, clear tape, water, and some Alka-Seltzer tablets. And whether you're experimenting along with us or not, we're going to have plenty of opportunity to participate today. So feel free to use the chat on the right-hand side of the screen to both ask and answer questions throughout the lesson. If we don't get to those questions right away, not to worry, Incredibrain will be sticking around after class for just a couple of moments to answer those questions for us. Now, we're also going to have the opportunity to snap a selfie, possibly with your experiments, if you've been experimenting along with us. And if you post those selfies to Instagram and you tag us here at Varsity Tutors, as well as the Omaha Children's Museum, you'll be entered to win a 1-week subscription to the virtual summer camp of your choice. Now, I'll talk a little bit more about that prize and some of the specifics on how to enter toward the end of the lesson, but for now, we're going to go ahead and hand things off to Omaha Children's Museum and the amazing, extraordinary Incredibrain.
Thank you so much. Greetings, citizens. It is I, the Incredibrain, and I am so excited to be with you all here today. First off, we're in my amazing science superhero lab, and it's a little early in here, so I'm going to speak a little slower, so that way you can hear everything I'm saying. I also have a superhero assistant that you might see bopping in and out, helping me with all of my wonderful science superpowers today. Now, as a superhero, I have taken a solemn vow to teach the entire world about all kinds of science, including biology, chemistry, physics, quantum physics, sometimes animal science and political science. But anyways, I'm getting ahead of myself. The list goes on. Well, let's get started. I can't think of a better hero to start off with than the Queen of Amazons herself, Wonder Woman. She's so cool. She's strong. She's fast. She has that incredible glowing lasso thing, and she flies. Now, you need a lot of wind to fly. I don't want to mess up my cape, so we're going to do something else. I have here something you might have seen around your house. Toilet paper. Yes, toilet paper can be super. Go ahead and unravel it here. And I am going to put it on a leaf blower. Some of you might know what a leaf blower is. You turn it on, it blows a bunch of leaves away. Maybe you know it. Probably. Yes, okay. So I'm going to put this on my leaf blower, and we are going to see what happens. Stay tuned. Leaf blower. Meet your nemesis, toilet paper. Ready? Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Did you catch that? Did you see it? You can always chat in the comments if you saw it. Yeah, do you think we should do it again? Maybe? Yeah, I see it definitely, yes. Okay, awesome, let's do it again. I have to unwrap my toilet paper. So what's happening in this science experiment is we are exploring a scientific principle called the Bernoulli effect. Bernoulli. That's kind of a funny word, yeah? And what the Bernoulli effect is the wind is blowing over the toilet paper. So the fast-moving air is going on top, but the bottom of it is going, the slow air is going on the bottom end. So it pushes the paper up and makes it all everywhere. Let's do it one more time, friends. Ready? Here we go. Move a little. That's one of my favorites. Perfect for Wonder Woman. Right. Moving on. There we go. Are there any Thor fans out there today? Maybe a couple of you. I am a huge Thor fan with the god of thunder and sparks. And Thor told me I could use his hammer today, but I couldn't lift it and I couldn't move it into here. So plan B. I have something called a Van de Graaff machine. Perfect. Thank you so much, Ben, my assistant. Wonderful. So this Van de Graaff machine has a belt on the inside. And once we turn it on, it's going to start moving super fast, which builds up electric charges. So you're going to be able to hear it maybe if you listen closely. Right by the microphone and move it a little farther away. So you might not be able to hear it, but it's going to be buzzing. There's going to be buzzing with electricity. And I have here a long halogen light bulb. You might have seen them before. They're up in your ceiling sometimes. And we're going to see if I can harness the electric energy in the air to make my light bulb light up. So we're going to move our microphone here. Perfect. Ready? Perfect. Did you see it? Oh, leave my mic. Thank you so much, my trusty assistant. There we go. Could you see it? Might have been a little faint, but I could catch the electric charges in the air and make the light bulb light up. It's super heavy hammers necessary. Wonderful. Our next superhero is Captain Marvel. Do you remember the super scary bad guy, Thanos? He has the big gold glove. I don't know what the Avengers would have done if Captain Marvel had super ran in there to save the day. She is so crazy fast. Do you remember how fast she was? It was crazy fast. She zooms in like 1,000 miles per second to save the day. Now, let's see what else we can do with some speed. I have here, with my container over there, I have here a glass mason jar, right here at the front, a regular index card, and I have a coin. All right, I don't know if we want to get a zoom in on this one. We can. Perfect. So, with the use of force, if I go slowly and use force with my finger here, the coin is staying on top and moving with it. See? Fell off with the card. Now, let's see what happens. when I go super fast, but take off my glove to make sure I can go super, super fast. All right, let's see if I can do it. I don't know. 3, 2, 1. Did you see that? I'm really proud of myself, guys. That's cool. So what happened was because the coin has weight to it, I was able to use the force to make the car go super, super fast. So it's so fast that the coin, so the weight wouldn't stay on it, so it fell into the jar. Should we do it again? Let's do it again. Okay. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Oh, bummer. Let's do it again. I can't always get them right. All right, 1, 2, 3. Well, first time's the charm. It almost went in. But we're going to move on to some other awesome science experiments here. Okay. Do you know, quiz time, who the very first Avenger was? He's pretty cool, he's tall, he's strong, he drank a special serum to make him get super, super strong, and he has a shield. That's right, it's Captain America. So we don't have any super serum that I can drink to make something strong, but I have something even better. I have something called polyurethane. I'm also going to take my gloves off for this chemical here. It's a little easier to handle. We're going to call this polyurethane A. Pour a little into my cup. Woohoo. Perfect. It's kind of a thick, pale yellow color. Doesn't smell good. Probably wouldn't drink this. Kind of looks like corn syrup. And then I put polyurethane B into the next cup. If I can open it, it might already be super strong stuff. Oh, I got it. This is why I'm not Captain America. I'm not super strong, folks. All right, pouring this one in here. Right, and polyurethane B, it's a different color. Can you type into the chat what color this looks like to you? You can see it. Is it blue? Okay, it's not purple, friends. You're being funny. Stop it. Don't actually, I love to laugh. Is it? Yeah, that's right. It's brown. Yeah, it kind of looks like Coca-Cola. Now, what do you think is going to happen if I mix polyurethane A and polyurethane B? You think it's going to explode? That maybe. Who knows? Let's find out, shall we? We'll pour it in here. It's very thick, like syrup. Okay, I'm going to take a popsicle stick and I'm going to stir it around. Stir, 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 stir. It's kind of changing color, isn't it? It's kind of foamy inside. We'll leave this one. This one. Let's see. This one might need a little bit of time. What you can't tell from watching on the screen is that it's actually getting kind of toasty warm on the bottom. This is called an exothermic reaction. It's a big word, I'm going to say that again. This is an exothermic reaction when something gets warm. So it's kind of hard to see. I don't know if we can zoom in on this one a little bit. It's starting to get a little bigger. A little bit. Starting to get bigger. So I think I'm gonna let it sit and stay for a little bit, cook a little bit before I do. Captain America's red, white, and blue, right? So I think we need to add some special decorations to my syrup. Did you see that? It got twice as big. That's crazy. All right. We have some white, have some blue, stick it in. What color am I forgetting? Red, that's right. Can't forget about the red. It's almost 4th of July, friends. All right. You think we need more? I think we need more, probably. I think we need lots of crazy ones. Oh boy, friends, it's getting pretty big. Oh, it's quite warm. That is quite warm. Remember when it started all the way down here? It's pretty crazy. Remember how Captain America was super thin before he drank his serum? Here we go. You ready, friends? Look at how crazy this is. What? That's awesome. But we are even going to let it sit a little bit longer, and we are going to revisit our Captain America. So let's move on to the next one. I'm going to put Captain America over here for a bit, right? You stay there. All right. Next up, we have my favorite superhero in the entire world, Batman. Or Batman, or Batgirl, or I don't think there's not a Batboy. There's not a Batboy, but there's a Bat dog. Just that dog. Well, I like the big of all the Bat people things, animals in this world. They're super fun. And one of the true things that the Bat people do is that they disappear in a cloud of smoke. So I think we should recreate this here in my superhero cave. Thank you so much. All right. I have in this canister liquid nitrogen. Now, liquid nitrogen is 320 degrees below zero. It is so cold. It is so cold that I have to put on extra superhero gloves. And I'm going to put on super glasses on top of my mask for protection. Because this stuff is so cold that if it gets on my skin, it can actually burn right in it. So I have in this jar here warm water. So let's see what happens if I put some warm water in my liquid nitrogen. You ready? Here we go. Try it again, friends. Sometimes being a superhero means you don't always get it right. But that's okay, isn't it? Yeah. The important thing about when your experiments don't go right the first time is to try again, folks. So what we're going to be doing in this experiment is with the warm water and the liquid nitrogen here, we're going to do a process of sublimation. So have you ever put out ice cubes out on the counter in a really hot day? What happens to the ice cubes? Can you type in the chat what happens to the ice cubes? Oh, thank you. Do you see all this smoke? Look how fun that is. So what's happening with the liquid nitrogen here is that it is a process of sublimation. Instead of melting like ice cubes on a counter where it melts into water, this is going from a liquid straight into a gas process called sublimation. Yes, sublimation. So we're going to try one more time. If it doesn't work, it's okay, friends. We're going to try one more time to see if I can disappear in a cloud of smoke, just like my favorite superhero. Do you remember who that superhero was again? That's right. Awesome. Thank you so much, Assistant Ben. Let's try this again and let's see if it works. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Separation. I disappeared. Did you see me? Did you see me? Maybe, did you see me at all? Maybe a little? Well, I'm working on it. Okay? I'm working on it. One day I will be part of the back team. Look at all that. It is so fun. Let sublimation happen. Perfect. Okay. Special assistant Ben. Got it? Perfect. Thank you so much. All right, let's go back real quick. Let's revisit Captain America. Oh my goodness, look how big he got. And on top of it all, he is rocked. He's rock hard. Isn't it just like Captain America? Perfect. Okay. My next superhero, I'm going to have you guess. I'm thinking of a member of the Avengers team who is big and super strong, and he is the color green. Who do you think it is? Yeah, that's right. A couple of you got it. It's him. So I think we should make something explode like the Incredible Hulk does. Yeah, all right. So this is a very special glass that scientists use that is called an Erlenmeyer mask. Erlenmeyer glass. Yeah, say that again. So let's start the first time. Erlenmeyer glass. And that's a type of glass that's big here on the bottom and has a little opening up top. I'm going to put in it some yeast. Some of you might have heard of yeast. It is what's in bread. It helps make the bread rise. And it also has some hydrogen peroxide. Now, most hydrogen peroxide is only 3%. And you can find this in your home. A lot of adults use it to clear out scrapes and cuts. This is a little bit stronger than 3%. This is 30%, which is another reason why I have my superhero gloves on. Because if it touches my skin, it could burn me pretty good. So I'm going to pour this in my Erlenmeyer flask. Perfect. And I think we need some bubbles because what superhero doesn't need bubbles? Bubbles! And what color is the paint? That's right, green. So of course we have to make it green. Green, green, green. Green, 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 green. We'll let you see it here. So I can prove that it is indeed green. And a little bubbly. Yeah, great. Now, what do you think is going to happen when I put my yeast in it? You think bubbles are going to go everywhere? Cool, bubbles going everywhere. Think it might turn a different color. Yeah, or you might think it might explode. Okay, well, we're going to find out. Ready? 3, 2, 1, let's smash! Here it goes, Hulk smash! Yeah. A lot of bubbles, friends. Got super big, made a chemical reaction. It started growing and rising, and it came right out the top. Super fun, friends. Okay. I think we should move on to our next science experiment. You have heard of something called particles. Yes, does that sound familiar to you? Tiny particles is what causes you to shrink in the Marvel world. And some of our favorite superheroes that can shrink are the ant and the wasp. And so I think we should make something shrink ourselves. I ate some yummy potato chips for lunch. I really like potato chips. I probably shouldn't eat as many as I should. But anyways, I'm going to use potato chips. And inside my potato chip bag is a little thin layer of metal. Shiny, shiny, shiny. Now I'm going to put it in over here. I have a microwave. Have you heard of a microwave? Is this something that's just in my superhero cave? No, some of you have them at home. That's right, microwaves make something called electromagnetic radiation. And so electromagnetic radiation does something really kind of silly with metal. In fact, that's why some of my microwaves are coated with a thin layer of metal on the inside. So what it does is it reflects the electromagnetic waves and shoots it right back at the food. So I'm going to do something fun. And I'm going to put this chip bag in my microwave. But first, I need you all to make a solemn vow. I, superhero, insert your name, will never, ever, ever try this at home. If I try this at home, I will give up all of my Halloween candies. All right, friends, I'm going to put this in the microwave and let's see what happens. Oh. You see my tiny little chip bag? It's so little. It's a little chip bag. You can even read the back of it. It still has all the little nutrition facts. But you know what? I bet we can make it even smaller. Assistant Ben, do you think we could do this again? A little bit. Retry it again. Perfect. Real quick. So it's not quite as small as an ant, but it's pretty close. Okay. All right. I might have also eaten Fritos for lunch. Okay. Small my little freezer bag is. So the heat made the molecules in my chip bag shrink super, super small. Yeah. I'm going to keep him right there because I think he's cute. Perfect. All right, friends. I think it's time for my last superhero science experiment. Now, we talked about the ant and the wasp. Can you think of another superhero that is tiny and has an insect as its name? Spider-Man, that's right. Spider-Man is so cool, friends. He shoots out those webs and swings across the room. What if we made our own web and swing across the room? What do you think? All right, well, okay, so I can't actually make my own webs yet. I'm working on it, but I have something even better. For this, I have a wire that's attached to the ceiling that with my trusty assistant Ben, going to hook up the line to. Now, way back in the day, there was a physicist named Sir Isaac Newton, and he came up with the law of motion. And the third law of motion is for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So I'm going to hook this up, and we're going to test that theory. I got it.
Hold it tight, hold it tight, hold it tight. All right. Here we go.
Get closer to the microphone for this. So for the law, how this law of motion works is that when I pull the rod back and let go, they just swing back and forth. But each time it swings, it loses energy and goes slower and slower. If I had pushed it as if someone was on a swing, it would have kept going higher. But because no one pushed it, it went super, super slow. And eventually, it would have stopped. All right, my super students, I think those are just about all the science experiments I have. So, next, we're going to do a pop quiz. Pulling up on your screens here should be a QR code. If you have another device with you, you can scan that QR code and interact with yourself and your other classmates for these quiz questions. If you don't have another device handy, that's okay. You can always respond in the chat. I'm going to give you a brief moment here to catch my breath from the heavy log and to make sure that you have devices if you would like them. Okay, are we ready for our first question of our pop quiz? Great, our first question. What is a reaction called that produces heat? What is a reaction called that produces heat? Do you know? We use it for Captain America. It's an exothermic reaction. Is the reaction that causes heat. Our next question is, what is the name of this flask? It's a special flask we use for Hulk. It's bigger on the bottom, narrow on top. What is the name of this flask that we use? Right. If you guessed an Otto flask, you are correct. Good job, friends. One last question on our pop quiz today. Liquid nitrogen, the smoke that we use to make everything disappear. Is liquid nitrogen super, super hot? or super, super cold? Is it super, super hot or super, super cold? Super, super cold. Good job. 320 degrees below zero cold. In fact. All right. Thank you for participating in our pop quiz. What we're going to do next is we're going to do our at-home follow-along activity. So we're going to take a couple moments here so you can gather up the supplies that you need. What you will need at home for this follow-along activity, you are going to need some paper, tape, scissors, a film canister, and some Alka-Seltzer tablets. I'll give you a moment to gather those supplies if you have them. If you don't worry about it. You can always pause the video, save the video, and go back and redo it once you do have the supplies. I will give you a moment to gather those supplies while I get my station ready. Okay, let's get started. Now, if I were to ask you, what would be the superpower you would pick? If you could choose any superpower in the entire world, what would you pick? Invisibility, that's a good one. Oh, the ability to talk to animals. Cool. Most of the responses I'm seeing, though, is the ability to fly. Now, we can't fly in here, it's a cave, but we're going to make our little superheroes fly. So with your paper and your scissors, we're going to go ahead and cut out either a triangle or a square, or cut out the shape it's going to be our cape, okay? Because every good flying superhero needs a cape. Okay. And I'm going to take some tape. And I'm going to flip my canister upside down so the open part's on the bottom. And I'm going to put my cape up here at the top. Trim a little excess off. That one's a little long for my guy here. There we go. Now he has a super little cape. Perfect. All right. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill up my canisters with some water. This reminds me of my trusty assistant, right? So I'm going to fill some water, and I'm going to add something called an Alka-Seltzer tablet to it. Now, you might have seen these at home. Alka-Seltzer tablets have baking soda in them, and your parents or adults might take them when they have an upset tummy. So that's what these are. And we're going to see if we can make these canisters fly. So first, I'm going to put in a little bit of water into my canister. We'll say about a fourth, just a little bit, less than half. And then I'm going to put in half of an Alka-Seltzer tablet. We're going to save this other half for later. Okay, so I'm going to put this in. I'm going to put the lid on. I'm going to flip it upside down, and I'm going to back away quickly. Okay? All right, we're going to do it again. We're going to put it in, slap the lid on, flip it upside down, and then back away. All right, let's try it here. Slap the lid on. me. That was really cool. Thank you so much. Did you see it? Did you see it? Pop all the way up and come back down? Did yours do it at home or in your classroom? Maybe, maybe not. So what's happening is the water is having a chemical reaction with the baking soda, and it's starting to fizz and it's making gas. And the gas is building up pressure and it's getting super full and the canister's getting so full. And then there's nowhere for the gas to go, so it explodes. Let's try it a couple more times, shall we? Let's see, this time, let's see what happens if I put a whole lot of water in. Ooh, I'm going over halfway full. And let's do the same. Let's keep about half an Alka-Seltzer as our constant. And let's put a full canister in there. Okay. Here we go. Drop it. Stop it. Was that as big as before? Oh man. No, it wasn't. I wonder why that was. Maybe because there wasn't enough space in the canister? Or maybe because we need a bigger Alka-Seltzer tablet? What do you think we should do next? Okay, sure. This time, we're gonna do a lot of water and a whole Alka-Seltzer tablet. See what happens. Drink a full thing of water. I'll get another Alka-Seltzer tablet out here. Let's see. 3, 2, 1. Sheesh. Still have a small result. So what should we do now? You think we should create more room for the molecules in the gas? Okay, so let's go back to just a little bit more. Just a little bit more. All right. And should we do a whole or a half tablet? A whole tablet. Okay, you guys are daring. Let's see what happens. Here we go. A little bit of water and a whole tablet. 3, 2, 1. Wow, good job, scientists. That was epic. And look, I still have a whole Alka-Seltzer here just fizzing away. Good job. That was great using a hypothesis and using experimentation to get a super flying effect. Wonderful. Well, that is all that I have today. Thank you so much, citizens, for coming and being a part of our presentation. We succeeded a lot. We failed some, but I think we beat the bad guys. And overall, we learned about science.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Incredibrain. And as promised, I think everyone is very excited to snap a photo with their new favorite superhero out there, the very sciencey and very knowledgeable Incredibrain. So while you get situated, as a quick reminder, if you post those selfies on Instagram and you tag us here at Varsity Tutors, as well as the Omaha Children's Museum, you'll be entered to win that 1-week virtual summer camp. And with that, I think we've got a couple of superhero poses in mind. I'll turn it back over to you, Incredibrain.
All right, I'm going to do a couple different poses, and I guess we'll just take pictures. Ready? Here we go. Science. Super science. Alka-Seltzer flying. Super frame hit smash.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Incredibrain. And if you didn't get a chance to snap a photo, we'll be hanging just a couple more minutes to ask and answer a couple of questions. And we had lots of really wonderful questions, but perhaps the one that came up most often actually was concerned with safety. So we had lots of students very concerned with safety, wondering which of these experiments. Now, I know we pledged not to do one of them in particular at home, and we had lots and lots of great response assuring that we would not. But can we clarify between the experiments that we saw today, which of these might be safe to try at home, which ones certainly aren't, and what sorts of safety things students might want to keep in mind if they're experimenting at home and not in a very professional superhero cave like the one you're in?
Absolutely. That is a great question. A lot of our experiments today had some chemicals that you wouldn't even be able to find at home. So I think the one that probably be the coolest and most fun and most safe for you to do at home was the toilet paper roll on the leaf blower. You can find both of those at home. The trick to this experiment, though, thank you so much. Here we taped on a paint roller. If you have what's called a dowel, or just a long wooden rod that you can put the toilet paper on, the toilet paper roll needs to go so the loose part's over the top, not under, over the top, and then have someone hold the wooden dowel with the toilet paper on, and then just turn on your leaf blower. That will be, it's a super easy, super safe, super exciting science experiment that you can do at home. That's probably the one I recommend the most.
Very cool. Now, we also got to do a little bit of testing of the scientific method with our at-home experiment today, possibly the most exciting interaction of the scientific method I've ever seen. Now, we had some students who were wondering if they don't have quite all the ingredients that are listed, are any of them substitutable? And what could we substitute with? In particular, is there anything you could use other than that film canister?
You might be able to try a little bit of baking soda. You can experiment with different amounts of baking soda. You can also do, if you want like a volcano, kind of more effect, you can try vinegar and baking soda. That's something that we could do for our Hulk activity that would work really well. These little canisters, they're little film canisters. Your parents might know them, but as long as you have a small container that has a tight lid, you should be able to do these as well. Another thing that would be similar to the Alka-Seltzer tablets is if you have Coke at home and you put some candy Mentos in it, it'll make a huge explosion. That one, do outside. I don't know if your adults would like it inside. Makes kind of a big mess. Does that answer that question for you?
That is perfect. That's wonderful. So the key there is that the ingredients need to be ingredients that react with one another, and it needs to be an airtight container to make sure it can build up that pressure and allow whatever it is you're working with to fly. Do I have that right?
Yes, yep, and specifically for this one, airtight container and baking soda and water. Just real quick, a plug-in for our Alka-Seltzer tablets. You can ask your adults to take you to a drugstore, and you should be able to find these pretty quickly.
Awesome, very cool. Thank you so much. And we had some students who were wondering if there are any other sorts of activities or experiments that we didn't get a chance to see today that are some of your favorites to show off, whether it's superhero science or just some of your other favorite scientific elements and processes.
That's a good question. Sometimes I'm called in for smaller children who might get scared with some of the bigger superheroes. I do a small superhero bubble experiment. And sometimes we fill bubbles with helium, which is something you can find in big balloons. And it makes them fly, and then I can light them on fire. That's kind of a fun one. Don't recommend it at home, but that's probably my other favorite experiments that we didn't see today.
Wow. Well, we definitely have a recurring theme that we want to make sure that if we're working with anything at home, that we're careful about the ingredients that we're using the proper equipment, that we're not utilizing anything like glass or heat, particularly without an adult's permission. So we've got to see some pretty cool things that are pretty exclusive to a very high-tech science environment today. So thank you once again for that. But as perhaps one final question, we have lots of students who are maybe interested in science, interested in becoming superheroes, or maybe, like yourself, a combination of the two. Do you have any final advice for science-interested students on how they can learn more and how they can grow in their understanding of superhero science?
Absolutely. I have two big pieces of advice. One is to read. Read. You can learn so much in books, and even reading just at a young age can help explode your brain and make you super smarter in the future. My second big advice is to never stop dreaming. If you want to be a superhero when you grow up, if you want to be a scientist when you grow up, if you want to do both like me, it is absolutely possible. Don't let anyone tell you you can't achieve your dreams. You can be anything you want to be.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Incredibrain. Thank you for showing us all of these wonderful experiments and teaching us what we were supposed to take away from them along the way. We hope to see everybody back in another Varsity Tutors StarCourse soon, but in the meantime, we hope you followed along with today's experiment and that you snapped a photo along the way. So be sure to post those and tag us here at Varsity Tutors as well as the Omaha Children's Museum. Until next time, thanks everyone.
Thank you.